then I want it to give the answer TGIF. Now, you have to put those quotes there because these are text items that you're putting within the formula. If you don't put those in quotes, then using that equals sign, it will try to use it as a function or a formula. And so that's why you need to ensure that if you're using just a hard value that you want to use that you've predetermined, that you put those in quotes. And then if it wasn't Friday, then I would say it's not Friday yet. And then I close it. So, and then by closing it, that completes the full function. Now when I hit enter, it's going to say TGF. No, what if I change this? What if I change it to Thursday? It's not Friday yet. And if there's no day in there, same result. It'll still say it's not Friday yet because there's no Friday in there. So that's a simple overview of how the if function works. This is literally just the tip of the iceberg, though. This simple little function has so much utility that you can put into it. Hopefully I can give you some of the ideas as we go a little further into this. All right, so the next one was it SUMIF, I think? Yeah, let's look at SUMIF. Okay, so I got this nifty little set of data that I set up ahead of time. And so how do we want to work this? Let's see. We want to, let's say we want to get the total value of something. How about, we got a bunch of different ones over. You got pen sets, binders, just individual pens. How about pencils? Let's focus on pencils because those are important, right? So let's come down here and I want to use equal SUMIF. Now, first thing is you need the range of what you want to add together. Oh, no, wait. This is the range of the data that you'll be looking at. So the items I want to basically filter through to find the particular data that I'm looking for. So I want to find the pencils in this column right here, column E. So I'm just going to highlight the whole column. Hit comma. Okay, the criteria now. I know particularly what it is. Actually, though, let me do this. I'm going to come up here real quick, delete the equal sign so that way it tells the sheet I am not doing a formula anymore. It'll just consider this all to be text at that point. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put, no, don't need an equal. I'm going to type in pencil. There we go. Okay. Now let's go back to the formula. All right, so the criterion, what I want it to use to determine what it's going to add together. So I'll click on that now. And then last, I need the sum range, what I want it to add if it finds in column E that pencil identifier. So now I'm just going to highlight all the way up. There we go. And then I close that. And fingers crossed, hopefully I did everything right. It'll work perfectly. Well, looks pretty good. So let's eyeball a little bit here real quick. And actually what we can do to help ourselves out is we can just highlight this, use the filter function like I did before. Look for that item. Clear everything real quick. And then just highlight pencils. So we see the two orders there. Oh, no, there's a few orders there. There we go. If we highlight them all, we can see the sum is 2135. Did that match what I had? Let's go back down here. Nope, it didn't. Well, see, and that's part of the fun of the formulas. Sometimes things don't go quite as planned. Why did it do that? Or maybe it was right. I didn't even actually, oh no, it was 27. It's basically twice the value. I wonder if it's actually getting some false. Let's try something else here. What if I move it over a column? And then let's just see. Keeps wanting to change stuff on me. There we go. Let's see if we just look for Jones transactions and see if that, now it's quite a bit different. Now we'll check again. Here's Jones. Yeah, it's, there we go. No, I still don't think it's matching. So that, what that tells me is probably what happened is when I created the data set, I probably did something funny with some of the values. And that's the important thing. When you're using one of these kind of functions like this is to double check it, like I'm doing right now. You're seeing me double check it to make sure that it's working the way that it should. Unfortunately, it's not. I'm actually not going to try to troubleshoot it anymore because I don't want to waste too much time doing that. But it gives you the idea that ideally what it should be doing is when you pick the item out and then you select the column, it'll add the appropriate values together, not some extra ones for some strange reason, and then give you that total. That way it stops you from having to come in here, filter them like I was doing just now, and then adding them together by hand. All right. Let's try, how about COUNTIF? Let's see if we can get that one to work right. So the SUMIF is a little more complicated, right? Because I'm trying to add in the totals using a different one. But what if I want to look for just a one particular item? Hopefully this one works. If not, well, I know the match and index portion of this presentation will work much better. I'm confident of that. Famous last words. All right, so let's see. I want to count if, I want to see how many transactions Jardine did in this whole set of data. So I'm going to select the whole range, same way I did before. Throw in the comma there. Let's see, there we go. So I'll select Jardine as the person I want it to look for in the data range to count them. And let's see what we get. We get 5. Okay, well, that looks a lot more promising than our last set of data. Let's see how it looks. We'll filter it. Get these all cleared out of here. There's Jardine. We'll leave them checked. And look at that. We got 5. We got one that worked, guys. You know I'm not just making this stuff up now. So we can see quickly that there was 5 transactions. So I could see, okay, that's how many sales Jardine did during this time period that's been selected. Let's just remove the filter. There we go. Okay, great. If error. If only that would have helped me out in the last scenario. Okay, so let's see. Quickest way. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so if you, right, divide by 0. Can't do that. Everybody knows that. But if you throw a little if error on the front of it, a lot of different ways you can use that. It's a good little band-aid that you can use. There's actually a great real-world example in the data that Hal will be showing you guys later, that when there's nothing in the columns with the student's information, it just shows a divide by 0 because there's nothing for it to use to do the basic calculation. For the cleanliness of the sheet, you could add the if error formula on the front of it. So that way then, when it can't find an immediate value, you could just have it show a 0. Doesn't really mean anything significant, but it makes your sheet look nice. It's just a minor cosmetic thing. There are some other ways you can use it, more advanced ways, like I was referring to with if, but we won't worry about that right now. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to get into some more interesting, heavier stuff now. Match, index, and then using them both together. So what does match do? What match does is it helps you locate where something is. So when you have a large array of data like we have over on the other tab right now, it might be kind of tough to hunt something down. So I want to find where this particular value occurs in that set of data over there. Like maybe somebody walked up and handed you a bunch of receipts and you're like, well, I don't know where those transactions are. They're somewhere in a million different transactions. If you have them all saved on the spreadsheet and have that unique identifier that I have indicated right there, E072919, well, let me show you what we can do with that. So we got the search key, that transaction ID, and then where am I going to look for it? I'm going to look for it right here in this transaction ID column. I'll hit comment. Now, the last part here is search type. If you leave it blank, what Sheets will do is it will look for something close, reasonably close to what you entered as the original key. Unfortunately, most of the time that might give you an answer you don't want, or it's not accurate. You know, it's not quite what you're looking for. So alternatively, if you enter the 0, what that basically means is it's got to be an exact match. If it's not, then you just don't bother looking for it. So I enter that. So it says it's going to be 14 cells down from the top. So if I start here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Make sure I did have the right one. Nope. Is it this one? It's this one. Yeah, because the first one counts as 1. Okay, so we're good. It found the right one. So there you go. It found the right cell, and then I can see whatever I needed to from that. You know, maybe I can see it was the rep they wanted to know, what they sold, whatever it is. There it is. I got it. All right. So now index I can't actually use without some sort of other function involved with it, but I can give you the idea. So an index is a set of data. So what we have over here will be an array, something I can use to find what I'm looking for. So I would select the whole thing. Maybe not this last row because of course I added that, but everything that I would want to search through. That way then, when I'm using some other function, it will help me parse the data to find exactly what I'm looking for. This could be useful if, for example, you have a spreadsheet with all of your students on it, and on one spreadsheet they're on the first row, but on the next spreadsheet they're on the bottom row. And you want to just have the information interchange between the two without having you need to find and copy and paste and move everything around on its own. You could use what I'm about to show you to help with that. So let's move on to the next part now. So I'm going to add match into this. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use match twice. I'll show you as we go along. So first we want to try to figure out where the row of data is. So we're going to use match for that. And the search key we're going to use, let's go back to our little examples I got over here. So I'm going to select this one right here. And so we see let me get this out of the way. We see we're looking for these transaction IDs. So that's what we're going to want to focus on again. We're going to come back over here, scroll back to the top. I'll just select just the IDs this time. There we go. Okay. So I've selected all the IDs now. I'll hit comma. The last part of match, like before, I want to sell it. No, I want just an exact match, nothing less than that. The next part is the column. So I want to find the appropriate column in this set of data that I've selected. Right now I don't have anything set up for that, so I'm just going to click here right now. And we'll make some adjustments in just a moment. So let's see. So we went match. There we go. And then the range, since we're looking for the columns, now we want just the stuff along the top. So I'm just going to select this stuff right here. The formula's kind of in the way, but I'm selecting these ones underneath the formula. And then hit the comma again, add another 0, because again, we want nothing but an exact match. And then close it off, which completes the match formula, and then that'll put one more parenthesis on the end of it to complete the entire formula. So I'll hit OK. Right now, it's not going to find anything because I asked it to reference a blank cell. And there's, unfortunately, if you look over the sales orders on the top, there is no blank cell. But if we copy the date, And we come back over here and we paste that right there. There it is, 7/29/19. It pulled the date from this transaction. So let me clean up this data a little bit real quick on this page so that way it makes a little more sense uniformly. So I'm just going to copy the formula. Sure I am. Come on, there we go. Come over here. And then, oh, the date's colored white. I was like, where'd the date go? And let's put date right here, and then let's just fix my formula real quick.